Hey y'all, I'm bringing you with me on my cool down today. I don't have a ton of time to sit and find the perfect spot to give you an update on this run. So I did a 3-mile training run this morning and I forgot my earbuds. And I've done that every now and then, but today I was like, okay, well, let's just spend some time with your own brain today. And I was a little scared to do that. I was like, I don't know. I know how my brain can be. But okay, this is all about training my brain to do this. So I got started. And I like to break my miles down into the phases of labor. So mile 1 is like early labor, mile 2 is like active labor, and mile 3 is like transition and pushing all together, because it's kind of what it feels like to me when I'm running. So I'm going to share some of the thoughts that I had during the various parts of my run. So during the first mile, I was looking at my shadow, and I do that sometimes, and I was like, gosh, you don't look like a runner. You're plodding along, you're kind of jiggly, you're not shaped like a runner, and you're moving slowly. Who do you think you are? That's where my mind wanted to go immediately. Who do you think you are, trying to do this really hard thing? And then I told my brain, quiet you, quiet. Really, that's what I said. Quiet you. We're not doing that today. So I kept my eyes forward and just focused on mile 1, which I often think of as my warm-up mile. So I'm moving from a sleeping state to a moving state. And so I expect mile 1 to feel pretty uncomfortable because I'm changing states. So mile 1 was fine, and it went by faster than I thought, which is always the nice thing about mile 1. It goes by pretty quickly. So then I got to mile 2, and that's where I'm like, okay, you're in active labor now. So you just need to set your pace and settle in, because now we're in it. We're in this run. We're doing this now, and let's just do this. And so one thing that I thought about before actually settling into mile 2 was how I like to celebrate every milestone in my mind. All right, I did mile 1. I did 1 mile without music today. That's awesome. I'm amazing that I even did that. And I give myself a little pat on the back and a little celebration. And then I was thinking, I wonder, because milestone, miles, what is the history of the word milestone? That's got to mean something related to running, right? So I thought maybe I'd look that up later. But I was thinking, whenever you're trying to do a hard thing, celebrate every milestone. And for me, that's quite literally a mile. Every mile I get to say, yes, I did 1 more mile. That's awesome. So mile 2 was all about just settling in and not changing anything, and kind of keeping my pace and keeping my rhythm, and pretty much repeating over and over again, just settle down, stay here, stay the course, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're in it. So then, right towards the end of mile 2, I got a little out of my rhythm, because I was thinking ahead that I wanted to make this video, but that I didn't have a ton of time, and I have somewhere that I need to be in a little while. And so my mind started playing tricks on me a little bit. So I looked at my run, because then I started wondering if it stopped working, because oh my goodness, shouldn't it be 2 miles by now? And I looked, and it was 1.98 miles. So I was like getting close to 2 miles. But it was hard for me to get back into my rhythm. So at this point, I got over into the third mile. I was starting mile 3. And so I was like, okay, it's transition. This is where the training actually begins. Because in my opinion, brain training and mental endurance, you don't start actually practicing mental endurance until you've reached the point where it becomes hard. And so 2 miles is good, but that's where I started to lose my motivation, and things started to get hard, and I started to doubt myself, and my brain really started to chatter. And so that's where I had to tell myself, okay, this is where the practice is. And thank goodness it's only 1 more mile. So you only have to practice this for a mile today. So I pulled out all of my affirmations. I said, you don't have to want to. You don't have to like it. Just keep going. You don't have to like it to do it anyway. You don't have to be having fun to do it anyway. You don't have to have a positive attitude to do it anyway. You don't have to, because that's where the feeling of accomplishment comes in, is doing something that's hard, doing something that you think you can't do, and doing it anyway, and showing yourself, hey, I can do that. I did that hard thing. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. And nobody can take that feeling away from you. And also that feeling of disappointment that you get when you quit on yourself, nobody can give that to you either. So I know myself, and I'm like, look, I don't want to deal with my own brain and that feeling of disappointment. So I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to feel great in a minute. I don't feel great right now, but I'm going to feel great pretty soon. So just keep going. So I had to keep talking to myself. And then something really sweet happened. Well, it wasn't sweet for a second, because I was engaging in some parent shaming in my own mind, which wasn't very nice of me to do. But it only lasted a second. But I saw this little girl in the distance go, hey, look, I found a butterfly. And I thought, that is so cute. Kids love butterflies. Butterflies are cool, right? And then I noticed that she was walking with her tablet, and I was just like, really though? You're at the park, you're taking a walk in the park, trying to enjoy nature with your tablet. But then I thought, you know what? Butterflies are way cooler than a tablet. And there are just some things that screen time won't take away from a kid. And that is the wonder of a butterfly. And it was just the coolest thing. And then I looked at my mileage again, and it was only 2.54 miles. So that was where it was getting really hard. But I had to keep going. I just had to keep going. I had to keep telling myself, do it anyway. You're not quitting. You're not going to quit. There's no reason to quit. So just keep going. You're almost there. You've got this. This is how you're going to train for mental endurance. This is how you're going to do it. And eventually, the time passed anyway, and I was able to accomplish my run this morning. So I hope that helps give you some ideas of things that you can try or think about whenever you're doing things that are hard. So anyway, see y'all next time.